I'm Sander, and in my previous video I crashed my KTM 690 on what looked like a fairly straightforward section of trail. At first I blamed the mud, but after looking at the conditions and the tire I was running, I realized I'd probably chosen the wrong front tire for the ride. I'm going to explain why I chose the tire in the first place, compare it to other tires that I've been using, and show you what I'm fitting next. So about the crash. We were in the middle of a heat wave, but there was a storm the day before with a lot of rain. I rode on a with grass overgrown path. The ground was pretty hard because of the heat wave, with a slick layer on top. I rode around 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. I felt the front wheel slipping, and a second later the bike went sideways and I jumped off. Because I was wearing my kit with all the protectors, I didn't really get hurt, so I was able to continue the ride. I did, however, lose a bit of confidence in the bike after the fall. I originally chose the Pirelli Scorpion Rally Advent Touring tire because most of my summer riding is mixed terrain. Lots of gravel roads, asphalt connections and TED sections. On paper, a 50-50 tire sounded like the perfect compromise. What I liked about the tire is that it is very stable on the road and comfortable at high speeds. It does behave predictable on dry gravel roads, and it should also be pretty long lasting. But once the terrain becomes muddy, that's where I started noticing its limitations. Pirelli has a couple of tire offerings in the Scorpion Rally range. You have the 80/20 tire Scorpion Rally STR, which I had on my Africa Twin and liked them very much on the road and light gravel roads, and it's great for adventure touring. Then the 50/50 Scorpion Rally Advent Touring. And finally the Scorpion Rally Rally Set, which is a 2080 tire. I think this tire would suit me better, but it's not always clear what Scorpion Rally tire is offered at retailers. The Rally tire does keep a Scorpion specific tread style, which inhibits the tire to lock in dirt on the sides of the tire. That is why I'm changing back to Mitas. Last summer I rode a set of Mitas Enduro Trail XT Plus on the 690, and when the season changed, I changed over to a set of Mitas TerraForce EF for autumn, winter and early spring riding. The Mitas TerraForce EF has a soft compound and has a lot of grip off-road in the soft stuff, but it does wear pretty quick. My old set has about 1600 kilometers on it. Because of the soft compound, it's not great for long hot TED riding days because it would wear too quickly. That is why I prefer the Mitas Enduro Trail Rally Pro or alternative the XT Plus. It's better suited for the riding I'm doing most in summer. On this Mitas Enduro Trail Rally Pro set I have about 3000 kilometers. The rear tire has too much wear, but the front tire still has a lot of tread depth, so I'll be using this one again for summer riding. I do have an alternative Mitas Enduro Trail Rally Pro, which has a more aggressive tread pattern. This is the tire I'll be testing this autumn and winter. One thing this crash reminded me of is that there isn't a perfect dual sport or adventure tire. Every tire is a compromise. The important part is choosing a tire that matches the terrain you're actually riding. If you want recommendations for your tire, send me a message in the comments below. Thank you and see you next time.